Hi there. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We have another testimony to pick apart. After all, we learned a lot of interesting information last time. But Graydon is still denying everything, so I think it's time we press and go through his testimony with a fine-tooth comb to see where the lies lie, you know?
Hold it!
Because this one, he's pretty sussy, you know? So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted. How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that, bro? Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with such information, with sensitive information. Oh no, stop! Must say something, stop! Let me guess. Turn number 5, you got some shit to add, lady? We regular communication station officers aren't as lonely as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is a team leader. That's, fascinating. Damn. Better watch out, turn number 5, or else you're fucking next. It's gonna break your kneecaps. Graydon is highly skilled operator! Stop! Currently in presence of idol! Stop! So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon. Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are simply enciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them. Oh no! Stop! Must say something! Stop! Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and the ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications. Gee, it sounds like you're more important than you were letting on, Mr. Graydon. And he's received a top prize at the cipher-cracking convention 5 years in a row now. That's, fascinating. Okay, yeah, he's really gonna fucking bust your kneecaps now, lady. Graydon is highly skilled operator! Stop! Yeah, you said that already. Currently in presence of idol! Stop! Well, your idol would appreciate it if you keep your mouth shut. She should really pick her idols more carefully. I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded.
Hold it!
They're not! Anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds. Of course. So, what are they then? Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. Ouch! He looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. Oh, well, hey, come on, not everyone knows Morse code, okay? We're not all fucking telegramists and whatnot. Ha ha ha! Oh, it's you. I would be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir. A lesson? Here in court? Jeez, Jordan, we're 5 really real in VP. Morse code is a continuous series of 2 distinct tones. I mean, that's kind of what it sounded like to me, you know. Tones, you say? Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. I see. example, this is A, and this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, don't you? But it sounds so similar. The rhythm of it is the same and everything. But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. What the fuck is it then? Okay, like, what is it? If it just, you tell me, fanseeks, motherfucker. No, fuck. Really? You shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in the future. Ugh. Stop! Nothing to say, but stop. Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Iris? I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely. Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? I don't know, man. Jeez. Okay, you know what? I'll come back to it. The defense will concede that the music box is irrelevant, for the time being. For the time being. Such optimism. Too debonair to admit defeat, are we? Those gesticulations are really starting to grate. Can it be Morse code unless it has two distinct tones? Perhaps I should examine that music box in a little more detail. Well, he seems confident.
Hold it!
Let's see about this. So 2 months ago, in that omnibus, McGill killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? Yeah, that's a good question. I think I said that before, or I definitely thought it, at least. How would he have come upon such vital information if he is just a poor brickmaker? How indeed. There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason, in order to take it to the meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal. Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that. An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter, and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. We have nothing more to add on that note. Let us return to the witness testimony. But I don't think I have any evidence that will connect them just yet. I don't think. Okay, well, let's press these two guys. Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? Ah, that's it, yeah? Who else, eh? Yeah, still, we thought he was just popping up for a nap after all them years. What's brought had a dirty job for us? Hey, Ash? Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Greydon is an acquaintance of yours? We're a sociable kind of baddies, you know. Sure, let's take Greydon to old China. Gee, look at his dumb face. Enough! Why don't you baddies desist with the fiction? Obviously, I don't know these men from Adam. Now, the last time, stop trying to implicate me in your sordid thievery. Yeah, well that's bloomin' nice, isn't it? You little turncoat. Fine. If that's how you want it, two can play that game. We ain't never had this geezer before either. Don't know him from Adam. Never spoken to him before in my life. Never even seen him. Never, Dash. Never. Good grief. Such a blatant lie will not stand in my courtroom. Well. All I'll say is this. Yeah, if we knew there were dotty government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it.
Hold it!
So you guys didn't know about that. So did you know nothing about this music box? We didn't know nothing. We still don't know nothing, and we ain't planning on knowing nothing about it neither. But 2 nights ago, you did indeed break into Winterbank's pawnbrokery, didn't you? In your original testimony, you said that the door of the shop was ajar, and that there was like some kind of a sign begging you to go in. But the truth is, you were planning to break into Winterbank's all along, weren't you? We were, Gov. We were. You're right there. Cause that's what he told us to do. It was his plan. Damn, he's gonna break your kneecaps too, guys. Better watch out. And why was it Mr. Greydon's plan to break into the Winterbanks that night? Did you not ask the reason? Well, he said the place was full of stuff worth nicking. That's what he told us beforehand, anyway. Turned out it was a little cobblers, didn't it? I wasn't best pleased, I can tell ya. In any case, if they know the real reason, it doesn't sound like they're going to give it away. Doesn't seem like they do. All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although all this talk about interceptions of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage. It would explain a number of things though, wouldn't it? The negotiations Jenny overheard on the Omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in at Winterbanks. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Greydon and the Omnibus was Mr. McGilded. No, that was Mr. Mason. The brickmaker who was so horribly murdered. If only there was some link between the two men somehow. I know. But Mr. Greydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever. I wonder if the key to us making headway at the cross-examination here could be those two brothers. Look at them with their pears and their apples. What a silly group of guys. Also, yeah, that Greydon, man, he's one tough egg to crack. Haha.
Hold it!
Okay, now go back to this. Hey, Ash. Jeez, what the fuck noise was that?
Excuse me.
Anyway, pal, you got something to add? Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? No, the other Mr. Skulkin. What? Who, me? When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I just remember the old days, that's all. We used to ride or laugh together way back when. Together? With Mr. Greydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look at him now with his fancy whistle and floating. Wouldn't you Adam and Eve it? But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town, just like us. Is that so? Yeah. But he was always a leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would never have gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a corker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Oi, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? How he was answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? I think, in fact, it might, in fact, be very relevant. In fact. My lord! Yes, counsel? The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. Very well, counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement our testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add. Say no more. A skulkin's never skulkin'. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run. Core. Them were the days. Oh, the days of our youth, am I right? But, actually, I believe if we take a little wooksy back through our McGilded case notesy wotsies, you might find that there's a name. The victim's name was not just thrice-fired Mason, like everyone calls him. His full name was Mason Milverton. So, pretty curious, would you not say? I wonder about the, what do they think about the music box at some point? Okay, you know what, let's do one thing at a time.
Hold it!
Let's see. I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, what exactly was that? Some kind of business? And just a little scheme we had going back when we were youngsters. A bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals. That's what it was all about. That sounds a lot legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate. On what? Okay, well now I'm just curious about the business model. So, how do your little business work exactly? Well, every morning down our way, the milkman would come with his cart to deliver milk, see? If you stuck your empties outside your front door, he would leave you them full again, right? So, we swooped in on the action. Got people to sign up with us. We promised to deliver milk for half the price of the other geezers doing it. People couldn't wait to sign on the dotted line. We were raking it in, we were. So, did you live at a dairy farm or something? Heck, God, it bit it! Are you off your rocker? We had nothing. We were too poor to have a farm. Right. Nah, what we had going on was simple once you had the idea. We just switch them over, say, our customers' empties with the full ones from anyone who wasn't on our books. A dawdle, right? So you stole milk from... Wait, go back. Our customers' empties with the full ones. So yeah, you just stole milk from anyone who wasn't signed up with your service? Jeez. I think you meant to say a diddle, and not the crime. It was just an harmless bit of fun, that's all. Milking the general public in such a fashion is most certainly not harmless, as you put it. Well, it was him what come up with the idea. Ash is the evil genius. You mean Mr. Greydon? Yeah, Ash always had his head in a book when we was growing up. Said he was going to get himself an education and get out of that slum we lived in. Core, we all ragged him about that, didn't we? Don't we look soft in the head to even think it? But look at him now. He's only gone to become a freaking, communication officer, ain't he? Communications officer, Mr. Skulkin. Sholmes and Wilson's milk run. No, Iris, don't even think about it. Don't steal milk from the children. Okay, well that's an amusing anecdote, I'll give you that. But I believe the more pressing information is in fact the name there. No, let me just okay, well first off I'll press.
Hold it!
I just want to check something real quick. People 27. Oh hey, I guess they did grow up around. Well, they would have grown up around the same time, huh? Fair enough. Right. Okay, now let's talk about the business name. So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Greydon involved? Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it? Yeah, that's it. And where did the Milverton part come from? Oh, right! I thought clever clothes like you would walk that one out. That is. Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this dribble? I don't... Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because well... It wasn't the happiest homes that one came from. Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much, his wife walked out on him. Ash, you took the name Greydon then, see? But Ash will always be Milverton to us. Milverton? That used to be your surname, did it? Of course not! This is all bunkum! I've been a Greydon since I was born. Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of those two thieves? Of these two thieves, You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It will be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Greydon. Well, it would appear that Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then? Is that correct? Very well. Yes. So Ashley Greydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things, and could turn out to be extremely important. Nice. Okay, yeah. We went here. Okay, so now let's try and go back to the
Hold it!
to think about the telegram doodah. Okay, yeah. We gotta demonstrate dot dash dot. Yeah, he died. Greydon's laughing. Ha ha ha. Yeah, let's give it a try, I guess. There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? If you must know, actually, yes, it pleases me deeply. It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required. Dots and dashes. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then what? Well, it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward. You had better present your idea at once, counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to decipher secret messages into Morse code? Oh, wait. Hey, what's this? What's this doohickey? Oh! What is it, Bruno? I've just noticed something about this music box. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well. Ah, you're right! Well, come on then! What are you waiting for? Let's open it. Alright then. Here goes. Oh, would you look at that? It's a motherfucking 2-sided music box. Look at that! There's another movement on the underside. So, does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side? Yes, I think so. And it looks like the 2 movements are linked together. They're linked. So if you had 2 discs, they would both play back at the same time. Huh. Well, we only have the 1 disc, though. Wait. Wasn't there supposed to be 2 discs originally? I remember there was like a whole thing when Greydon was trying to get the disc back at in the pawn shop. I think he was expecting there to be 2 discs, wasn't there? Well, let's present this for now. Good gracious! What am I looking at here? Another movement on the underside of the music box. What? It appears, my lord, that the 2 movements are linked together. In other words, you can put 2 discs in this music box, and the sounds of both will play back at the same time. Ah, good heavens! As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of 2 tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. Yeah, it could. It definitely could. This is beyond a joke. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's beyond a joke. There's no punchline. This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Though, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well, I can't at the moment. And may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with McGilden 2 months ago, striking a deal over the disc or discs. Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. Exactly! I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Though it has holes, I must admit that the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue. The link between Greydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. Oh dear! It looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Bruno. You will reiterate your testimony, if you please, Mr. Greydon. If I must, but I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. Okay, so I figured that out, and now we got the thing for the brothers. So now I think we can present, let's see. Okay. I think we would want to present the case notes, maybe? Because, I mean, we can't present, like, the profiles as evidence, and, like, we can't do that. So what evidence do we have that we can present?
Objection!
Yeah, I guess we'll throw this out here. Mr. Ashley Milverton, tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? You haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's a real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Explain yourself, please, counsel. I have here the notes from the Omnibus case, my lord, and as we all know, the victim, the man we know understand to have been negotiating with Mr. McGilded. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. That's right. Only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. That's the same name, my dude, in case you didn't realize it, that Ashley has. Milverton? Oh, do you mean to say it's alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton, is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father? I don't... As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history would have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. The truth is, you've been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it onto McGilded in collaboration with your father. Ah! Jeez, that was a nice little pirouette you did there, my dude. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded. Right into this music box, you mean, counsel? Yes. Stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information. As, presumably, a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, Mr. McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Winterbank's 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. Well, yeah, but this time, determined to recover the second disc. Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box? Eh? We never knew nothing about that. On the night that Mr. Winterbeck was killed... Yeah, we saw that the music box was apparently moved at some point. The intruder to the pawnbroker touched one item, and one item alone, the music box. As rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed. So, the question that naturally begs answering is this. Why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious. Because it contained a second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since, if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon? Do you deny that all of this actually began with that fateful night 2 months ago, Uh, I... I... I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. Sir? There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. Wait, what? Oh! Shoot, I didn't notice. What? Ah! 2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Wonderbank's pawnbrokery. 1 took the life of the pawnbroker himself. 1 struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. Ouch. I still hope Sholmes is okay. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? He's got you now, me old China. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those are my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves. Fine. I admit it. I was there in Winterbanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded. Be careful, dude. As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. He's not going to go down without a fight. Not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is... Well, we know that 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms that we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Winterbank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm. Yes, indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. Which, frankly, was a legitimate possibility considering Mr. Graydon. And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Winterbank was shot by a 3rd gun, which can only have been fired by the 3rd intruder. Ah, goodness! That's right, Mr. Graydon. The only person who could have possibly shot Mr. Winterbank that night is you!
Hold it!
Hold it? Well, I guess he's not going to give it up without a fight. You little upstart. You made a great mistake when you summoned me here. What? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide that fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility? What? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility? The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. You mean, I assume you mean metaphorically, because, in a physical sense, no. What? Are you suggesting? I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor, defenseless pawnbroker and shot him. You... What? finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial. Mr. Graydon. Yes? I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as a killer. Oh, I understand fully. Then I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Okay, this seems like an obvious lie, though. But okay. While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Windermere threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accuser, in a black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood splatter all over that wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole. So I picked it up and made my escape. Wait, what? You stole the gun out of a peephole? How big was the gun? How big was the peephole? You can't fucking fit guns through peepholes normally. Good gracious. This is quite extraordinary testimony. You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger. Order! 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 It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is it my intention to be felt guilty of a murder I didn't commit. So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now, as an act of self-preservation. The truth? Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes. Well, sorry about that. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, she was showered in his blood. You say the blood spattered over the accused's coat. Are you sure on that point? Oh, yes. Quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time. Really? If a coat could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here. Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What? Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's the true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry. Okay, damn it, Sykes, you didn't have to fucking, throw a shot at us. We didn't even do anything. There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound. Ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. Ugh. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. With your lordship's permission, we could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes. This doesn't look good, Bruno. Why not? Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of Jenny's coat. If they tested with that chemicals... Oh, help! You're right. I was forgetting what happened yesterday. Yeah, because we already figured out that there was indeed blood all over the coat. Don't move, Jenny! I'm going to shoot you! That's not Mr. Winterbank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mason's blood. But when he was stabbed by McGilded, who was wearing the coat at the time. Okay, well that seems like a slam dunk then. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what? If they do the test, and they find out that it was Mr. Winterbank's blood, then... oh sorry, if it was if it was Mason Milverton's blood, that would prove that, Ashley's claim is a load of shit. What are we getting at, Ryunosuke? My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution. Overruled. Lord Van Dykes, make it so at once. With pleasure, my lord. And, while we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Once they find that blood on the overcoat, Gina will be... Counsel! What? No, it won't. What do you mean? We already... Didn't we already point out earlier in court that the overcoat was, McGilded's overcoat? So, if Milton's blood is on McGilded's overcoat, that just furthers the idea that McGilded killed the guy, which we were already kind of hinting at before. I don't see how this looks bad for Gina. Again, if anything, it would just prove Ashley's claim that it was Winterbank's blood that splattered all over her coat. Like, again, maybe I'm missing something here. Yes, my lord. Your cross-examination. Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence, or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. But I don't see why though. Huh. Yeah, okay, again, I don't quite understand what Ryunosuke's all worried about. But, anyway. I guess once we go through this testimony and such, we'll figure something out. Or maybe it'll explain better why it's a bad thing. But this recording is getting a little long, so I think I'll end things off right now. At least we finally got Graydon to admit that he was there when the incident happened. And again, it kind of seems obvious to me that this is something he just made up, right? Because, like, realistically, he could have just said this before. Well, I guess he was trying to hide that he had even been there. So now that he is telling the truth, supposedly, you know, now he can say the real thing. But I don't know, if he really wanted to incriminate Gina, he probably could have come up with a way of just saying he saw something while not actually being there proper. Well, not you know, being there to steal or whatever. But anyway, that's just a bit of observations on my part. Next time we will delve into this next testimony and see where it takes us. Because, yeah, it seems like we're getting into some wild places. But until then, I'll see you around.